by Jae-jun.
여기에서 이런 원정골이 김진수의 발끝까지 터졌어요.
The header is good, and it's the giant defender John Tae-wook, and eventually Korea have broken the deadlock.
You're listening to the K-League United podcast, proud partner of Football Nation Radio.
Hello, I'm Ash McCart. Welcome to The Weekend, a bite-sized preview edition of the K-League United podcast. I'm Paul Neat, and we begin with the news headlines. Top K-League bosses go head-to-head in Media Day. Football is art, says Jose Moraes. Kim Do-hoon, we'll take the glory. Son Heung-min scores his 9th goal of the season as Spurs cruise to a 3-0 Europa League win. And kickoff times are released for the centralised AFC Champions League group stage. Our top story, the top two managers in K-League 1 went head-to-head on Thursday in an online media day. Jeonbuk Hyundai Motorsports' Jose Moraes says, football is art, be ready for an entertaining game. Kim Do-hoon meanwhile insists that his team will take the glory. Jeonbuk and Ulsan meet at the Munsu on Sunday with just goals scored separating the two K-League giants with 2 matches of the 2020 season left. Daegu sell out. The Sky Blues take on Pohang Steelers on Sunday at 2 o'clock, but all tickets have since been sold. Daegu are the only team to completely sell out all of their 25% capacity cap so far this season. Daegu, of course, booked their place in next year's ACL, but the kickoff times for this year's centralised AFC Champions League group stages in Qatar have now been released. Games will kick off at either 7 p.m. or 10 p.m. Korea time, with some matches being held on Fridays and Saturdays. Full details can be found on the official AFC website, but the tournament will restart again in the middle of November. The ACL places may have already been sewn up in K-League 1, but where the title will go is still undetermined. Taking us through the marquee match as well as the team and player to watch in the top flight this weekend is Matthew Binns.
K-League 1 enters its penultimate round this weekend, with things still very much on the line and matchups that could have a significant say in the season's final outcome at both ends of the table. Here are the match of the round, team of the round and the player of the round for round 26. The match of the round sees Ulsan Hyundai in first place, host Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors in second place. Separated by goals scored at the K-League 1 summit, leaders Ulsan Hyundai host reigning champions Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors in a match mirroring that of last season's. The Harangi have led the pack for large portions of this campaign, putting in scintillating performances along the way. However, they are yet to pick up any of their points with meetups against the Green Warriors this year, losing 2-0 in Ulsan and 2-1 in Jeonju. While Jeonbuk manager Jose Moraes has a team mostly free of injuries and suspensions at his disposal to select for this encounter, Ulsan Hyundai's Kim Do-hoon faces the predicament of replacing both centre-back Dave Bull-Twies and forward Bjorn Johnson, who both saw red in the side's previous round encounter with Pohang Steelers. They will likely be replaced by Kim Ki-hee and leading Golden Boot chaser Junior Negrao, respectively. Jeonbuk have tended to have the upper hand in this fixture in recent seasons, with Ulsan last tasting victory in their first of 4 meetings last season. On that occasion, goals from Kim In-sung and Kim Bo-kyung, now plying his trade for Jeonbuk once more, saw off the North Dollar side and handed Ulsan an advantage in the title race. However, following 5 encounters have seen the Green Warriors take maximum points on 3 of the encounters. With an 8-goal advantage in the table though, can the Harangi compose themselves to earn the 3 points needed to effectively claim their first title in 15 years and end Jeonbuk's hopes of a record-breaking 4th consecutive trophy? Sunday will provide the answer. This weekend's team of the round is Busan I-Park. The spectre of relegation has stalked Busan I-Park in recent weeks, with manager Cho Duk-jae having his resignation accepted 2 rounds ago after the team found themselves at the bottom of the pack. Busan have managed to pick up 4 points from the last 2 matches under the caretaker management of Lee Ki-hyung and now find themselves in 10th and able to guarantee safety this weekend if they claim a point against fellow strugglers Incheon United. If not, they will face a final day showdown with a relegation-threatened Songnam, which could see them return to the second tier if results do not go their way. In their 2 meetings this season, Busan have claimed 4 of the points against Incheon, winning their first meeting of the year 1-0 in Incheon back in June. However, this was prior to the Black Blues' mid-season revival, and their second outing proved to be an even tighter affair, with the score staying goalless. Lee Ki-hyung famously led Incheon to final day survival in 2016, before repeating the feat the year after, and now could condemn his former employers as he looks to secure top-flight football for Busan next season. The player of the round is Pohang Steelers' Kang Sang-woo. While Pohang Steelers may now have nothing left to play for, they are certainly enjoying themselves as they look to wrap up the season in style. A lot of the headlines have gone to their front four, with Stanislav Ilichenko, Alexander Polosevic, Song Min-kyu and Manuel Palacios rightly claiming the plaudits for their displays in recent weeks, with all four of them being credited on the score sheet for the side's last 22 goals, a run in which has seen the team pick up 22 points out of available 24. Further coinciding with this form has been the return of wingback Kang Sang-woo from Sangju Sangmu. Kang had been performing well for the military club, scoring 7 and assisting 5 as the team maintained a hold of the place in the top 4 positions in the league, a place which they look almost certain to secure. Coincidentally, Kang ended his military service and became available to the Steelers 8 matches ago, a period in which he's assisted a further 7 goals to move him clear of competition in the race for top assist maker, with Daegu FC's Jong Sung-eun trailing by 5 in second place. Kang has proved to be a key cog in Pohang's late flourish and will prove an invaluable asset as the side look to mount a title challenge next season. As for the fixtures, well, the weekend kicks off early on Friday the 23rd of October when Suwon Samsung Bluewings host Songnam FC at 7 p.m. Then on Saturday, FC Seoul kick things into gear as they play Gangwon FC at 2 o'clock before Incheon United play that crunch match against Busan I-Park at 4:30. Sunday then sees Daegu FC play Pohang Steelers at 2, while Gwangju FC and Sangju Sangmu play at the same time. Then the match of the round, Ulsan Hyundai vs Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors, kicks off at 4:30 Sunday afternoon to wrap up what should be an exciting weekend. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you for that, Matthew. In a similar fashion to the Team Bento versus Team Hakbom international friendly, the South Korea women's team took on the under-20 side on Thursday afternoon. The match ended 1-0 to Colin Bell's senior team, Jang Sul-gi, with the game's only goal. But speaking of stars from the women's game, we have an interview with West Ham United midfielder Cho Seo-hyun coming up next week on the K-League United podcast, so do stay tuned for that one. To news from Europe, Son Heung-min scored his 9th goal of the season on Thursday night, adding Tottenham's 3rd in the 3-0 Europa League win over Austrian Bundesliga side Lask. Son now has 9 goals in all competitions this year and has bagged in each of his last 3 appearances. This weekend sees the top 2 in both K-League divisions go head-to-head. So in K-League 2, when Jeju United meets Suwon FC on Saturday, the second-tier title could well be all but sewn up. Taking us to the marquee match, as well as the team and player to watch this weekend, is Ryan Walters.
The top 2 collide in K-League 2 this weekend. The race for the playoffs is as tight as ever, and the battle to avoid last place is now between no fewer than 4 teams. Plenty to play for heading into Hana 1Q K-League 2 round 25 this weekend. We get started with the match of the round, which is taking place in Jeju, where the top 2 collide this Saturday, with the Islanders hosting second place Suwon FC. With 3 points separating the 2 teams heading into this huge clash, a win for either side will have a huge say in where the second-tier title goes come the end of the season. A win for Jeju would all but seal it, while a win for Kim Do-gyun's Suwon would draw the teams level on points heading into the last 2 matches of the season. However, Suwon have a superior goals scored tally, the second tiebreaker in K-League behind points. Thus, the permutations are simple. A win for Jeju would then mean the Islanders need just a point from their 2 remaining matches of the season to earn promotion and the title. A win for Suwon would move them to the top of the league on goals scored with 2 matches to play. Jeju are on a run of 13 games unbeaten with 9 wins. Suwon's defeat to Jeonnam Dragons last time out was their first in 10 and came after a run of 6 straight victories. The most recent meeting in August ended in a 1-1 draw, but the first encounter between the 2 teams, which took place in Jeju, ended in a 1-0 United win. The team of the round is the aforementioned Jeonnam Dragons, who find themselves in the dizzying heights of 3rd place thanks in large to back-to-back wins and the last gasp win over automatic promotion chasing Suwon FC last time out. In doing so, the Dragons broke character somewhat by scoring 4 goals, something the South Jeolla province side hadn't done all season. In fact, Jung Kyung-jun's men had scored no more than 2 goals in a match throughout the whole campaign up until last Sunday. Goals have come at a premium at both ends of the pitch, as the Dragons can brag about having one of the stingiest defenses in the division as well. But up next for Jeonnam is a visit of Daejeon Hana Citizen, a team with rather contrasting fortunes. Under caretaker manager Cho Min-guk, the Purples have picked up just 1 win and have lost their last 3 on the bounce. Such form has seen Daejeon slip to 6th place and out of the playoff positions. However, with how tight the race for the top 4 is again this term, a win against Jeonnam would put them back into the mix. A man finding his form for the team in 4th place right now is Seoul Eland's Richard Sukuta Pasu, and he is the man to watch this weekend. The Seoul Eland forward was back on the score sheet last time out, bagging the Leopards' opener and a 1-1 draw with FC Anyang. Sukuta Pasu ranks in the top 10 for the number of shots made in K-League 2 this season, is 3rd for headed shots, 8th for shots from open play, and is also in the top 10 for touches in the penalty area. The goal against Anyang was the 30-year-old's first in 7 matches, but with the playoffs seemingly on the horizon for the Leopards, the Jeomshil faithful will be hoping their German attacker can have a huge say in the run-in, starting with a trip to Ulsan Greeners this Sunday. Round 25 kicks off with the early match on Saturday with the Jeonnam Dragons hosting Daejeon Hana Citizen. It continues with the massive first versus second clash of Jeju United versus Suwon FC, and kicking off at the same time is Cheongnam Asan versus FC Anyang. The round continues on Sunday with Bucheon 1995 hosting Gyeongnam FC for the early one, and the later match at 4 p.m. will be Ulsan Greeners versus Seoul Eland. Match previews, analysis, and much more available as always on K-League United and KLeague.com.
Fans, we want to hear from you. You're encouraged to email KLU at info@kleagueunited.com or tweet at KLeague United with any questions, comments or reactions. Or follow us on Facebook to ask directly during one of our live shows.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Before we go, here is a reminder of what has been happening in the world of green football over the last week or so. We start with the news which broke on Tuesday. Australian national team boss Graham Arnold quickly debunked any suggestions that he was to be appointed new manager of FC Seoul. It was reported in the media in Australia that the Socceroos boss had received an offer from Seoul. However, the World Game reported shortly after that Arnold had turned Seoul down. The capital club were also linked to Thomas Doll and Torsten Fink last month and are on the lookout for a new full-time manager following the departures of Cheong-soo and Kim Ho-young earlier in the campaign. Some good news for Seoul fans though is that they are now mathematically safe from relegation thanks to the 1-0 win over Songnam on Saturday. Korean Olympic squad forward Choi Young-uk grabbed the game's only goal late in the second half after coming on as a sub to pull Seoul out of the relegation battle. Suwon Bluewings are also safe thanks to the points accumulated in the 0-0 away draw to Busan I Park. It is now a 3-way fight between Incheon, Songnam and Busan to stay in the top tier. To the East Coast derby, the title race is as close as can be now with just goals scored separating the top two. That is because 9-man Ulsan lost 4-0 to rivals Pohang Steelers in the East Coast derby on Sunday. With Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors beating Gwangju 4-1 earlier in the day, the pressure was on the Harangi to pick up a result. But red cards to Dutch defender Dave Bulthuis and Norwegian forward Bjorn Jonsson contributed to a second half collapse. A brace each from Stanislav Ilyachenko and Alexander Polosevic earned Pohang their first East Coast derby win of the season. Ulsan hosts Jeonbuk this weekend in a huge and potentially title-deciding clash. Elsewhere in K-League 1, Sangju Sangmu won their last ever home game over the weekend, easing past North Gyeongsang Province neighbours Daegu FC in a 2-1 victory. With the Army side set to play the last 2 matches of the season away from home ahead of the move to Gimcheon, Sangju were able to sign off with a win. An Tae-hyun and a Kim Jae-yu own goal gave the hosts a 2-0 lead before Suzinia halved the deficit with a stunning free kick 10 minutes from time. Sangmu moved to Sangju from Gwangju in 2010. Looking to trade places with K-League 1's basement side are Jeju United and Suwon FC. Over the weekend, Jeju were able to put daylight between themselves and Suwon on account of the Islanders' 1-0 away win over Gyeongnam and Suwon's loss to Jeonnam in a 4-3 thriller at Castle Park. The two meet on Saturday in a promotion 6-pointer. For the team which has to enter the playoffs though, dates were officially announced last week. The 3rd versus 4th semi-final will go ahead on Wednesday the 18th of November and the final on Saturday the 21st of November. Over to Europe now, and in the Premier League, Son Heung-min picked up where he left off before the international break, having a hand in all 3 of Tottenham's goals in the 3-3 draw with West Ham on Sunday. Son opened the scoring inside the first minute before teeing up Harry Kane on 7 minutes to make it 2-0. Son was then involved in the build-up for Tottenham's was third with Harry Kane nodding home from close range, but a late fight back from West Ham ensured the spoils were shared as the North London side conceded 3 in the last 6 minutes. With 5 matches played, Spurs sit 6 on 8 points. Son, meanwhile, is the Premier League's joint top scorer with 7. In Germany, Korean international midfielder Lee Song laid on an assist in Holstein Kiel's 2-0 away win over Würzburger Kickers in the Zwei Bundesliga on Sunday. It was Lee's first assist of the season and helped the Storks move to the top of the table on 10 points from 4 matches following an unbeaten start. Former Korean international Koo Ja-chol got Al Gharafah up and running in a 2-0 win over Al Qaraitiyat in the Qatar Stars League on Saturday local time. It was Koo's first league goal of the new season and helped the 7-time Qatar Stars League champions onto a 5th consecutive win in all competitions and into 2nd in the league, 3 points behind table-topping Al Ahly. And finally, former Korean international goalkeeper Jong Sung-yong kept his 10th clean sheet of the 2020 J.League 1 season on Saturday in Kawasaki Frontale's 3-0 win over Nagoya Grampus. Frontale are now 17 points clear with 10 games left and look on course to seal a 4th J1 title. Jong has 2 J-League 1 winners medals already from 2017 and 2018 and looks set to add a 3rd in 2020 after losing out to Yokohama F. Marinos last year. Alright, that is all from us this week. Thank you very much for listening. We do have written previews on KLeague.com as well as on KLeagueUnited.com. We are on social media, all at KLeague United, and to find us, the link is, as ever, in the Bruno bio. Until next time, goodbye.
정조선 고공 폭격기